I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 finance bill.
President William Ruto concedes, says he will not sign the finance bill into law hours after Tuesday's deadly protests that left a trail of death and destruction.
We have a dysfunctional National Intelligence Service that has exposed the president, the government, and the people of Kenya.
We have a dysfunctional National Intelligence Service. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says NIS failed to advise the presidency on the magnitude of the protests.
Estimated around 20 million was in damages in property.
Wakala, lakini walitusumbua kidogo sababu walitaka kuharibu vitu.
Businesses left counting losses, expressing dissatisfaction with the government's failure to protect their property during the protests.
Ingekuwa leo ni yeye amefanyika kitu kama yeye amekuja kwa maandamano, angefeel uchungu sana. Nadhani hata hiyo finance bill ingekatikia hapo.
Plus, over 20 people have lost their lives across the country following the nationwide protests, with victims' families now calling for justice. Good evening to you. K24 Evening Edition begins right now. I'm Alan Owino. Our sign language interpreter for this session is Walter Asewe. Now, following the mounting public pressure over the contentious finance bill, President William Ruto has announced that he will not sign the finance bill 2024 into law. The move comes after Tuesday's deadly protests that left a trail of deaths and destruction, and so demonstrators breached parliament premises for the first time in the country's history. Busara Naman tells us more.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
In his address to the nation from State House, Nairobi, over the controversial Finance Bill 2024 that sparked nationwide deadly unrest, President William Ruto conceded and announced that he would not sign the bill into law.
Having reflected on the continuing conversation around the content of the Finance Bill 2024 and listening keenly to the people of Kenya who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill.
President Ruto also stated that he would engage Kenyan youth to hear their perspectives and concerns.
There is need for us as a nation to pick up from here and go into the future. And I am therefore proposing that because we have gotten rid of the Finance Bill 2024, it is necessary for us to have a conversation as a nation going forward. How do we manage the affairs of the country together? How do we manage our debt situation together?
He added that moving forward, Kenya will engage in a multi-sectoral conversation about the public debt and the country's future, while calling for immediate austerity measures to reduce spending, which will begin with the presidency and then spread to the executive branch of the government.
The country witnessed widespread expression of dissatisfaction with the bill as passed, regrettably resulting in the loss of life, destruction of property, and desecration of constitutional institutions. On my own behalf, and on behalf of these members and many other Kenyans, I send my condolences to the families of those who lost their loved ones in this very unfortunate manner.
Following the withdrawal of the bill, the country now will operate under the Finance Bill 2023. The Finance Bill 2024 will now be referred back to the National Assembly with a memorandum detailing reasons for declining to assent it into law. The majority leader will then move a motion seeking the House's concurrence with the President's recommendations as provided under the standing orders. A resolution will be passed that will see the bill withdrawn in its entirety. The Kenya Kwanza government was seeking to raise nearly 200 billion shillings in extra revenue to finance its projects through the Finance Bill 2024. The government had presented to Parliament a 3.99 trillion budget for the financial year 2024-2025. The law allows the government to continue collecting revenue based on the Finance Act 2023 that is already in place.
Thank you, Excellency. That marks the...
Busara Naman, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Now, the question many ask is what next for the finance bill? As of today morning, the president had three options with regards to the finance bill. One, assent to the bill, upon which the Finance Act 2023 would have been replaced with the Finance Act 2024. Two, he had the option to veto the bill and return it to Parliament with a memo detailing his reasons why he's declined to sign it. Parliament would then have to override the presidential veto with 2/3 majority and it becomes law, or accept the president's memo and amend the law to confirm. Thirdly, in the event that Parliament overrides the presidential veto, but still the president refuses to sign, the bill would then assume a self-triggering mechanism and becomes law automatically after 21 days. From what we've gathered, all these three options weren't explored, and now the executive, together with the National Treasury, is back to the drawing board considering the Finance Bill 2024 rather has died a natural death. They will be expected to come up with a new bill that will be subjected through the whole process that the just rejected Finance Bill 2024 was. Over 20 people have lost their lives across the country following the nationwide protest witnessed on Tuesday. According to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, dozens of victims are receiving treatment in several facilities across the country. This comes even as families of those who lost their kin to the protests are calling for justice to be expedited, urging the government to heed to the plight of Kenyans.
Edith Wanjiku is one of many Kenyans who arrived at the Nairobi City mortuary to view the body of their kin who lost their lives in yesterday's protests. Wanjiku, a resident of Isili, recalls the fateful day her 19-year-old son failed to return home after joining his peers for the nationwide protests. According to Wanjiku, the 19-year-old Ibrahim Kimani is said to have sustained several gunshot wounds, leading to his immediate death.
Ningependa kumwambia yeye pia kuna watoto. Na ajui mtoto wake kesho ataenda kwa nani, ama ataolewa na nani, ama ataoa nani. Akayakijua kitu kama hiyo. Wake ingekuwa leo ni yeye amefanyika kitu kama yeye, ama amekuja kwa maandamano, angefeel uchungu sana. Nadhani hata hiyo finance bill ingekatikia hapo, hiyo mambo na finance bill, sababu amesikia pia wake amekufa kwa maandamano. Hiyo ndio kitu mimi ningependa kumwambia. Na si yeye pekee yake, ni viongozi wote. Wale watu wanapiga yes. Wanapiga yes sababu wamepewa milioni 2. Ni uchungu kwetu kuona kiongozi wangu nilimpigia kura alafu ananivotia yes kuniumiza mimi mwananchi. Na yeye amepangwa pale juu na president milioni 2.
The family, which is now saddened by his untimely demise, have accused the government for extrajudicial killing on innocent Kenyans.
Ni haki kweli wa Kenya kuuawa na KDF instead ya waajiri tu the local police. Mimi nilikuwa naonelea KDF ndio wangefaa kutumwa Haiti, waache watoto wetu na mapolisi wa kawaida.
Tutaki watoto wengine waumie. Mjukuu wangu ameenda na nimeridhika. Maana Mungu ataniulizia. Mtu wa ulimwengu ataniulizia, lakini Mungu ataniulizia. Lakini ile kitu nakuomba rais wangu, kaa chini. Kaa chini na youth. Kaa chini na watoto, maana kesho yao iko. Lakini kesho yao kiumiza wataenda wapi?
During a spot check by K24, the mood at the Kenyatta National Hospital Funeral Home was not any different, as families from at least 3 people who died in the demonstrations came to view their loved ones.
The brothers started looking for him at about from 4:30, I think 5. I think the gunshots, from what we saw, they started about 4:30 or something like that. So they started looking for him and he was not picking the calls. Fortunately, the friends who were with him, 5 minutes later, they just departed. And 5 minutes later, they were looking for him. And someone else, a stranger, picked the phone and said that he's already killed.
According to the hospital management, at least 165 casualties were admitted from the protest witnessed yesterday. Among them, 72 successfully received treatment and were discharged.
As we speak, there are about 8 of them undergoing surgeries at the moment, and we have about 23 who are waiting for additional procedures. We did what we call we prioritized those who needed more urgent procedures, and those who are not having very critical injuries are the ones who are waiting.
The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has affirmed that over 20 Kenyans lost their lives in yesterday's protests, with several others still nursing injuries in several facilities so far. This is one of the facilities that received an influx of patients drawn from yesterday's protest, even as doctors now hope not to have a similar occurrence in the future. Reporting for K24, my name is Gertrude Burgay.
Business people who have suffered losses of unknown value to protests have expressed dissatisfaction with the government's failure to protect their property. According to many who have now been rendered jobless, the government should listen to the woes of young people to avert such crisis. Harry Chime reports on the severity of losses witnessed in Nairobi following the anti-finance bill protests.
Broken doors, fractured glasses, empty shelves and scattered items including shoes tell the story of vandalism occasioned by the anti-finance bill protests in Nairobi's capital. At this Medallion restaurant in Nairobi, 40 employees are now staring at empty checks this month as the place of work that was once a hub of hustle and bustle is only filled with broken glasses, traces of vegetable and food, ransacked empty shelves and cash drawers.
They took almost everything, our machines, computers, even our safe was broken into. It was a huge loss for this establishment. Estimated around 20 million was in damages in property.
Wakala, lakini walitusumbua kidogo sababu walitaka kuharibu vitu. Sisi tunaomba tafadhali msiharibu vitu za kazi, lakini walitushinda nguvu.
It is the same case at Picasso restaurant where the goons masquerading as protesters stole all furniture amounting to 500,000 shillings, leaving nothing behind. M-Pesa shops, mobile and repair stores, ATM machines, all CCTV equipment were also vandalized. Jairam Ankala, the owner of high-tech optician premise, struggles to narrate the pain of his loss.
Everything is broken. Probably the damage may be around 5 million or more than that because everything is stolen. Even
in the same building, a veterinary best store was also looted.
We have a loss of about 300,000, and most of all, the loss that is most painful for us is the data, and they didn't manage to steal the products we sell simply because maybe they don't know what they are.
Pharmacies were also not spared as looters made way with various kinds of medicine, cosmetic products and even animal-based medicines.
They were getting in, the first thing they were doing is they were putting off the lights, and then they took off the camera. All the cash, all the M-Pesa cash that was there, and M-Pesa phone, and even the camera was stolen, plus now the cosmetics and everything generally.
Mimi sikukaa nikafunga saa 3:30 saa 4. Lakini ikifika saa 9 saa 10 ndio watu wanaanza kukuja na ile force. Ni maandamano sijui hiyo generation nini, but sio watoto. So nilijua kitu kama saa 1:30 kumevunjwa.
Ronald Ngala Street is another area that was heavily looted. At the Ronald Ngala Plaza, beauty shops have been left with empty dummies, others still reeling in shock.
Wigs zote tumepata tu empty dummies peke yake, wamechukua blow dry, flat irons, everything zilikuwa kwa shop in short. Na waka make sure wameharibu even CCTV.
Watu wengine watapoteza job, juu hakuna do. So kitu yenye inatuma ni juu Kenya watu walikuwa na protest. Maybe I see how juu mapolisi wako huku chini.
I've lost close to 200 to 250,000. So as I was trying to get more details, the camera went off. I couldn't access. So I tried to come, we couldn't because the whole roads are blocked. It was so horrible.
Torched buildings depicting the aftermath of the protest. Sunbeam building was still bellowing with smoke from a fire that ravaged the establishment at 3 p.m. yesterday.
Tumepoteza laptops worth 2 million. We have school fees to pay, we have bills to pay at Ujaripa, we have loans. Wengi wetu tumechukua loans ndio to secure hizi business za mbele kwanza.
The charred insides of the building are a testament to yesterday's rage during the anti-finance bill protests. businessmen and women who incurred losses are now shifting the blame to the government for not securing their premises. Harriet Chimea, K24 TV, Nairobi County.
Well, that report by Harriet Chimea brings us to a break right here on K24 Evening Edition. We'll be back with more in a short while.
Have you watched K24? We would love to hear from you. Send us your feedback on what you like and what you don't like and why. You can use any platform